Health Results with Brother Heru. I don't see Red Pill on yet, but
Nah,
they'll
he's not
kick it.
on. He won't be on today.
All right, right. So Brother Heru and Brother Anthony here this morning. Let me do a quick introduction for those who may be, coming by, checking in for the first time. Brother Heru Fariata, Bachelor's of Science degree in Biology and Psychology from Tufts University, and a Juris Doctor from Northeastern University School of Law. And the brother, as you all know, some of you, is the founder of Herbal Results Industries, where his company formulates, manufactures, and distributes natural health products and herbal medicines. Herbal Results Industries has achieved success in reversing a wide range of serious illnesses, including hypertension, diabetes, diverse cancer, tumors, fibroids, kidney failure, which we may get into this morning, herpes, infectious diseases, respiratory illnesses, and the list goes on and on and on. The brother's also an avid researcher, so if you got an opportunity to bring him to your city, state, borough, county, country, so you can do so by emailing him at herbalresults.net. And the studies that the brother gives are compelling, but what is most compelling is the success stories of the testimonies of people who were given a cancer diagnosis, sentenced to die, and found their way out through attacking this cancer by using dietary changes, immune system fortification, anti-parasitic of some form. So welcome everybody to Health Results. Brother Heru,
Hey,
appreciate you,
what's
my
happening?
brother. Appreciate you. Let me get my camera right. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, appreciate you too. Good morning to everyone tuned in. Uh, it's gonna just be another day of giving you receipts. Today I wanted to cover because brother Anthony called me about kidney reversal. I think he'd gotten a call of somebody who got some success. We could start with that, brother Anthony, because I want to cover high blood pressure and kidney reversal. So feel free, kidney disease reversal. So feel free to chime in.
Kidney disease reversal. Got a few calls. I wanted you to touch on that, but the testimony is, and Brother Sababa may call me this morning. We'll see, brother. If you're out there, call me. You got more details on this. You told me that he met a brother that couldn't walk, could barely talk, and he recommended your product, olive beef extract. And Brother Heru, within 10 days, the brother was on the cane and eventually walking and eventually talking, man, within just 10 days of using your product, olive leaf extract. Have you heard anything similar to that?
Well, yeah, I have many different things. I have, there's a young man, he's in his 20s. His father contacted me who has multiple sclerosis. He's been
Right.
diagnosed with, he's in Miami. Call him Uncle Milu. And Uncle Milu, his son has multiple sclerosis, and he was
Mm-hmm.
doing quite poorly under the care of the conventional medical system. And I gave him the Herbal Results protocol for autoimmune illnesses, which is very similar to cancer protocol. The only difference is that we may add oregano oil for the bacterial infection that comes along with the nematode infection that tend to be found in uh, these autoimmune illnesses. So, with autoimmune illnesses, what we found is when we look at the work of Dr. Alan McDonald, who's finding certain parasitical infections in the cerebral spinal fluid of all of his patients with multiple sclerosis. In this particular parasitic infection, there's a nematode infection. So there's different types of parasites.
Right.
Um, the smallest type is called protozoas, and that falls into the same family as the malaria parasite. However, there's another family of parasites called nematodes,
Mm-hmm.
and it turns out that the pharmaceutical medication that is an anti-parasitic that is given to people with autoimmune illnesses like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus. They're given hydroxychloroquine. So hydroxychloroquine is an anti-parasitic.
Right.
Then you would have to ask yourself why are people with autoimmune diseases given anti-parasitics? Does it have something to do with a parasite infection? And the answer is yes. This is the work of Dr. Alan McDonald who has shown this. And the problem is that they're told that they're going to have lupus for the rest of their life. They're going to have rheumatoid arthritis for the rest of their life. And the reason is largely that they're taking the wrong anti-parasitic.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking the anti-parasitic for protozoa, where they should be taking anti-parasitic for nematodes. This is a very important distinction.
Right.
So the anti-protozoa anti-parasitic will have some broad range anti-parasitic effects, but it will not be powerful enough to take care of nematodes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So people with lupus will take hydroxychloroquine. They will, in rheumatoid arthritis, they'll experience some relief, but it won't be 100% relief. And that's why they tell you that you're going to have this disease for the rest of your life.
Right.
Because they're not attacking it correctly.
Right.
And so you would take nematode antiparasitics, which is fenbendazole, mebendazole, or ivermectin.
Right.
Right. Or olive leaf extract.
Right.
Now, what is really interesting is that olive leaf extract is an equal opportunity antiparasitic.
That's right.
So olive leaf extract will kill protozoas
Mm-hmm.
just as well as it kills nematodes.
Right.
Right. This is why when people take the olive leaf extract, you get all these types of stories of people
Right.
getting up and walking and this and that, because it's not specific to families of parasites. It just deals with parasites
I see.
writ large.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is why it's important to understand some of these things, to understand what antiparasitics are good for what types of parasites and what antiparasitics are broad spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had people who've had lupus and multiple sclerosis and rheumatoid arthritis, and all they've used is the olive leaf extract, and they've gotten great results. We've had people who've had, cancer, diagnosed with different types of cancer, and they'll just use the olive leaf extract, and you'll see reversals. I mean, we have many of those cases on our website,
Right.
on the testimonials page, right?
Yeah. Y'all go.
So this is an important distinction to make, which
Mm-hmm.
the medical system is completely overlooking. So anyway, this young man who's in his 20s, his father contacted me, really kind of distraught because he saw his son just going downhill to the point where I believe he's in a wheelchair and multiple sclerosis. And so what we did was and I'll tell you the protocol so people can actually hear out loud what the protocol is. So the protocol is simply, number one, for any autoimmune illness, what you're going to do is we're going to treat it as a parasitic infection. That's number one. They say that your immune system is attacking you. Well, there's two problems. That the immune system is not properly fed, so it's not aiming correctly. And then it's almost like having an immune system that needs glasses, or an immune system with impaired vision, right? So when you give it the proper nutrients, which is vitamin D3 plus K2, magnesium, zinc, and selenium, it's the main things that your immune system needs. You now feed your immune system, so your immune system is acting more robust. And as a matter of fact, there are people who reversed all types of autoimmune diseases just with this one approach. And that one approach of boosting the immune system through vitamin D3 supplementation and high dose vitamin D3 is called the Coimbra protocol. This is a doctor out of Brazil, Dr. Cicero Coimbra, who puts people on high dose vitamin D. And when you take high dose vitamin D3, you need K2 and you need magnesium. Those are two things that you need as cofactors. They're complementary to vitamin D. I could cover the reasons, but I'm not going to get into all that right now. So we boost your immune system. We starve the parasites of the food they like, which is sugar. in foods that convert into sugar,
Right.
which is the bread, the white flour, the rice, all of that.
Right.
So we have that dietary approach, we have the immune system approach,
Right.
and then we give you anti-parasitics, particularly those anti-parasitics that deal with nematodes, right? So because this is the work of Dr. Alan McDonald. Alan McDonald is finding nematode infections. And so ivermectin, fenbendazole, mebendazole, but then olive leaf extract, if you want to go the natural route, Artemisia annua, artemisinin, they deal with nematode infections quite well, right?
All right. All right.
So you take that, and within literally a few weeks, I mean, I have a message from the father.
Before you go look for that, before you go further, we got a couple callers we want to take.
Okay, yeah, we can take the callers. Just to finish up, I just want to say,
Finish up. Okay.
within literally, I think 3 weeks of this young man doing the protocol, his father texted me and let me know that he's now exercising and riding his skateboard.
Right. Okay.
And he's doing well.
That's great.
Okay,
And
so all of you people with autoimmune illnesses, if you didn't catch what I just said, you can email me to get the information, and I'll send it to you. And what you need to do is you need to just do it for at least give me 30 days, and then see how you're doing. And if it solves your problems, it solves your problems. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
All
go
right,
ahead.
Let's go. But I told you about the testimony. Before we get there, we got Baba Sababu Shabak on with us.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get there, let's go to 904. 904, you on with Brother Heru. How are you this morning? All right, 904, young. All right, unmute yourself, 904. Don't know if you're just listening or not. If we'll come back to you. Baba Sababu Shabaka, how are you this morning?
Hey, greetings, brothers. I'm doing very well. On top of the world, as Brother Heru used to say, but I'm doing very well. And I just wanted to call in because you had mentioned a person that I was working with. He had stage 4 prostate cancer, so it has metastasized. And my queen took him some of the olive leaf extract, vitamin D3 and K2, as well as the magnesium to him. Told him to use the magnesium and the D3 right away.
Stand by, Shabaka. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Please continue.
I didn't see it speak later. All right. We had to go to the doctors on Tuesday, so she told him to not take the olive leaf until after he went to the doctor to see how his blood pressure was. All right, so she went there, his blood pressure was normal. She told him to take the olive leaf. I saw him on Saturday, and he was in pretty poor shape. I mean, very poor shape. He could barely walk, couldn't understand what he was saying. All right, so, but he had began to do the regimen. I saw him the following Saturday. All right, so we're talking about, 9 or 10 days later, and he was walking without his cane. His voice was much better, could understand him better than I was the Saturday before. And I called him yesterday, and he talked like a man who wasn't sick. Now, keep in mind now that he has not had a month treatment with the olive leaf and the other regimen, but he was doing extremely well up to that point. Now, he's still in bad shape, but he says that his strength is beginning to improve. He could talk better. I told him I would see him this coming Saturday just to check on his mobility and other stuff. But he's only been with the olive leaf since 10 days, along with the vitamin D3 and K2 and magnesium, zinc, and selenium. So I just wanted to share that with you. I was amazed that he did the improvement that I saw and that my queen saw when she first visited him had improved that much. So I just wanted to share that I had witnessed that. Uh, just wanted to say that.
Yeah, big ups to you, Baba Shabaka, being a part of the family of saving our lives and limbs of our people. Please respond, Brother Heru.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard these stories over and over again. It's almost, certain that he was suffering from some sort of parasitosis and parasitic uh, infection, and that's why the olive leaf was so effective. And if it is doing what it's supposed to do, the results are quite quick, right? If you actually have the problems that it addresses, the olive leaf is so powerful, and we make it very powerfully. Our extraction process is second to none. That's why we have the strongest product in the market, and it works pretty quickly. If you have the problems that it addresses. So I would say that since it's metastasized, I would go a little bit stronger with not just the olive leaf, but I would ask him to add this product too, Brother Shabaka. Um, I would say go on our website, ask him to purchase the anti-parasite double pack. Okay?
Right.
He needs to add that to his regimen. It's a 1 month supply. He needs to add that to his regimen. Okay? So this is the product right here he needs to get. It's going to aid the olive leaf extract in killing the parasites at an even quicker and stronger pace. Okay? So it's important that he gets the Herbal Results Anti-Parasite double pack. So that's what I would add to the conversation. But, feel free to give us an update on the brother.
Yeah.
Because prostate cancer is something that we're seeing, repeatedly, but it's also something that we're getting reversals for repeatedly. I will be, there's a brother who had a stage 4 prostate cancer. His brother's name is Ron Noel. I've been working with him for about a year. His PSA was as high as 46. Now his PSA is non-detectable at below 0.1. And all he did was the Herbal Results protocol. And I'll be interviewing him hopefully this week, and I'll have his interview live on our website as well. That people can just press play and see how his situation was reversed to the surprise of all of his doctors. So we keep doing this over and over again. We're pretty much getting these reversals once every week or two.
Right. Baba Shabaka, thank you. Hey, bro, Baba, you got to follow up, Baba Shabaka, before we let you go.
Yeah. It was also during the conversation I got someone that asked about kidney failure and what would be a good protocol to try to treat that person was getting dialysis. So I didn't know especially how to respond. If you have any suggestions?
Yes, I'm gonna be covering that today, kidney failure specific, and we had a brother call in about 2 weeks ago, give a testimonial about his kidney failure and his reversal. It was a little choppy when he called in, but I'll explain everything after the call. I'll go over the procedure to reverse kidney failure.
All right, let's go to another caller, and we'll get to you. I think Montgomery hung up. 904, you still there? You just listening, or you got a comment or question? All right, 904. If you're not listening now, you can go to WSYP 95.1 or Facebook or YouTube to listen. But if you have a question, feel free. All right, we're gonna hang up on you, and please proceed, Brother Heru.
Oh yeah, Island Tires affordable medicine for the nematode parasites is the olive leaf extract, and also the anti-parasite double pack. You'll find that on herbalresults.net. Just go to the shop page and you'll see those two products. Olive leaf extract. If you're dealing with cancer, we recommend the maximum strength, and then also the anti-parasite double pack, particularly if it's aggressive or it has metastasized. I would advise you get the anti-parasite double pack along with the olive leaf extract, and then also the vitamin D3 plus K2 and magnesium, zinc, selenium product for the immune system.
All right, we got another call out of Chicago. And Chicago, Masan Koulibaly, you're on now. 904, you call back. Hopefully you got something to say here. Baba Mansar Kulabali, welcome back, my brother. How are you?
Yeah, it's hard to hear him, Brother Anthony.
Hey, brother, you must be on that speakerphone, my brother.
If we could raise his volume so the audience can hear.
All right, will you? I'm not on the speakerphone. All right, yeah, talk a little louder there, brother.
Yeah, I was, and first of all, whole test that you was Brother Heru, and it's so good to hear Shabaka's voice.
Right.
I hadn't heard him in a while. I wanted to ask you, Heru, have you heard anything about this melanin extraction industry? There's supposedly, these folks are trying to get melanin, and there's, some feelings that, that's why a lot of black folks are disappearing. That it's impossible to extract melanin, for the other folks' use.
Yeah, I haven't done a deep dive on it, but based on historical precedent and historical behavior, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I've heard about that. Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Okay. Yeah, that's another level of oppression.
Right.
And attack. That I guess we have to, find understanding about it, solutions for.
Right.
I wouldn't put it past some people.
That's right.
So I just wanted to, put that out there.
Yeah. We're
further looking into.
Yeah.
That was about it. I just wanted to raise that.
Okay. Appreciate you, Elder. Appreciate you, Elder.
All right.
All right. Right on. 904, you back. Do you have a question or a statement to make? 904.
I'm just listening.
Oh, you're listening. Okay. All right. Stay there. We appreciate your call and your listening. All right. Go ahead, Brother Heru.
All right, cool. So I just want to talk about kidney failure since it did come up. And we did cover it 2 weeks ago with a live, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago with a live testimonial. But let me just get y'all to understand what's going on real quick with kidney failure. Once you understand it, you can, solve the problem.
All right, brother. Before you go there, let's see. We got another call out of New York. Brother Ray. How you doing, my brother?
Okay, how y'all doing? How you doing? Good. If you in the area, the UNIA store has the products.
Yes, in Queens, New York. It's hard to hear him, Brother Anthony.
Yeah, Brother Ray, speak up a little louder, my brother.
Okay, yeah, the Rock UNIA store has all the products.
Yes, they do.
Can you explain to the, I'm going to kidney stone, so can you explain to the audience, do you mix the products with food or do you take it on empty stomach so you can get the full effect? Explain it to the audience so they would know.
Oh, okay. So for people listening, he said, does the UNIA store in New York have the products? And the answer is yes. It's called The Rock. It's in Jamaica, Queens. You would just put in The Rock, which is the Restaurant Owners Corporation. It's a big restaurant depot, and they carry the Herbal Results, olive leaf extract, the vitamin D3 plus K2, the magnesium as well. Actually, they just placed a new order for the magnesium, which will be shipping to them this week. And how do you take it? You can take it with or without food. This olive leaf extract can be taken with or without food. The vitamin D can be taken with or without food. You can take it with food, and the magnesium can be taken with or without food.
Yeah, I love to take it, Brother Ray, without food, man. But go ahead. Go ahead, Brother Ray.
Can you address kidney stones?
Kidney stones, my brother.
So with kidney stones, let's just talk about kidney stones real quick. So what a lot of people don't know is that, well, one of the good things to prevent kidney stones is vitamin K2, because it's just a buildup of calcium. what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of kidney stones come from eating a lot of spinach. You know, you can get kidney stones from eating too much spinach.
I think you mentioned that before.
Yeah, because there's a thing in spinach called oxalates,
Right.
right? Um, and it just builds up over time, and you can get kidney stones. Now, what you want to do is, whenever you're taking vitamin D3, always add K2. Okay, so vitamin K2 is going to take any excess calcium in your blood and deliver it directly to your bones, and so it won't go into your kidneys. Okay, now what happens if you have kidney stones? One of the most effective things to do when you have kidney stones is to take potassium citrate. Okay, and if you don't have potassium citrate, you want to take very concentrated lemon juice. A lot of citric acid is going to deal with dissolving the kidney stones, but the thing that tends to work the best is something called potassium citrate. Okay, so if you get kidney stones, just get potassium citrate and take that. It is a mineral salt, and it's going to work very well in dissolving your kidney stones. All right.
All right, Brother Ray. Got another question or follow up?
I was down in New Orleans, had all my plans to eat some of that good food and that kidney stone food. Had to be rushed to the hospital. Oh boy.
Yeah. Did they give you potassium citrate?
No, they gave me the saline. I was banging my head up against the wall. And they gave me the powerful the relaxer is a killer.
Oh, okay.
I finally passed. I passed it a week later. I passed.
Oh, okay. They gave you something to pass the stone, which is very painful. One of the things that they should do before you pass the stone is to give you the potassium citrate to help dissolve it, so it's not so big when it passes out. Because that's where the pain is when this big stone is coming out of you and it's coming through your urinary tract.
They gave me Flomax ready to open up the passage towards the pass too. They gave me Flomax.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, my brother. We thank you for it. Go ahead.
The listening audience. Do not want a kidney stone. You do not want a kidney stone. Thank you.
All right, Brother Ray. Thanks so much, man. All right, Brother Heru.
Yeah.
Get into your presentation, my brother.
Yeah, and this is going to be really quick, by the way. So when it comes to anyone with kidney issues, the first thing that you have to ask is, what medication are these people taking? Are they already on? So what we found is that most of these kidney problems are coming really from the side effects of medications. So you're taking a certain medication, unbeknownst to you, you've got kidney issues. And these medications that have kidney failure or kidney damage as part of their side effects are the high blood pressure medications, particularly ACE inhibitors, and then also blood pressure medications like losartan, olmesartan, and then also statin drugs. And there's a bunch of other drugs as well. Some of the anti-diabetic drugs as well have kidney failure. So if a person comes to me with kidney failure, the first question I ask them is, do you have high blood pressure or diabetes, and are you on any medication? The answer is yes. Then it becomes quite simple to solve. So what we're going to do is we're going to solve your high blood pressure, which is the original problem, right? We always use what you call a first principles approach. So if you have high blood pressure and you're on the medication and it's the medication that's causing the kidneys to fail, well, the question then becomes, can we solve your high blood pressure problem without pharmaceutical medication? The answer is yes. And it's actually the high blood pressure medication 9 times out of 10 that's causing the issue. So what we do is on Herbal Results, we just show people the testimonials of high blood pressure reversal and show that our approach in the olive leaf extract works. And so what I'm going to do is, and this is a case with, that happened with my uncle. My uncle was, he had kidney failure so bad that he hadn't urinated in 5 years, right? And he was on a list to get a kidney transplant, but he was very low on the list, right? So I told him, let me get the names of the medications that you're taking. He gave me the names, and of course, it was lisinopril, losartan, all of that. And I was able to show him literally in black and white that it says acute renal failure, right? Okay, as a side effect. So I said, listen, we're going to control your blood pressure with the olive leaf extract. And so you can wean off your medication or get off your medication. And he got off his medication, y'all. And in 3 days, he called me back and told me that he urinated for the first time in 5 years. Okay. And this is a story that we get over and over again. The brother out of Richmond, Virginia, called a couple weeks ago, told his story. He had end stage kidney disease, and now he's urinating, as he says, like a horse. And his doctor can't believe it. It's because he was on all this medication that was ruining his kidneys, and he's off the medication now. The brother has lost 70 pounds because he's doing the Herbal Results intermittent fasting protocol, and then he's taking the olive leaf extract with the vitamin D3 plus K2. Anyone who wants to see his testimonial, he actually came on the show on video about 2 weeks ago. Let me see if I can find what date it was. It's all on my Facebook. So if you go to my Facebook, Heru Oforiata on Facebook, you just scroll down and you will see the videos that came in. Okay, it's on July 20th. That's when the brother called in. Okay, so you can go to the show on July 20th. Just go on my Facebook, and the brother's telling his story, so that I don't have to tell it for you. You can literally listen to what this brother has to say. It's probably, I would say, the time frame that you need to go to is around the 2-hour mark. Actually, he called in around the 1:50 mark. Yeah, so if you go around 1 hour and 50 minute mark, you'll see the brother call in. Okay, is around 1:54. The brother's name, I believe, is Sean Edwards. Okay, and he tells his story. It's very important that you listen to these stories, because I can say it and I can give you the scientific, evidence, but when you see a regular person tell you they no longer have kidney failure and their diabetes is gone and they've lost weight and they're doing great and they felt better than they've ever felt, that's the biggest, evidence that you could have. That's the best evidence that you could have. And so what we do at Herbal Results is that we simply solve the high blood pressure problem, or we solve the diabetes problem. Once you solve that problem without pharmaceutical medication, all of a sudden now these problems start to go away. Okay. Someone says, does the protocol help with kidney cysts? Yes. What I'd like you to know that with a lot of these kidney cysts, kidney cancer, kidney tumors, I would like to show you all something. There tends to be a kidney parasite that people are not aware of. And so I'm about to show you all this. There is a worm that infects mammals, and it is called Dictyostelium renale. So since we're talking about the kidneys, this is a very appropriate question by William Long. So let me show you all this. And this is what the worm looks like. So what happens is this particular worm will infect the kidneys of mammals and lay eggs. A lot of times these eggs are mistaken as tumors, and they're actually the eggs of this parasite. Do you see this, Brother Anthony? It's called Dioctopheme renal. Renal just means kidneys. And this is the worm. Okay? This is a parasite that infects mammals. Let me make it smaller so you all can see it. Brother Anthony, are you able to see this? I don't know if Brother Anthony is able to see this, but I think you all should be able to see this. All right, that's it right there. Okay, so what happens is that they say it's rare, but it happens in terms of human beings. It's rare because they don't really look for parasites in terms of, and this is a roundworm. So listen what it says: Dioctopheme renal, commonly referred to as the giant kidney worm, is a parasitic nematode. Remember I told you all about nematodes? Whose mature form is found in the kidney of mammals. Okay? It's found in the kidney of mammals. It is distributed worldwide, but is less common in Africa and Oceania. So it's actually less common in Africa. It affects fish-eating mammals, particularly mink and dogs. Human infestation is rare, but results in kidney destruction, usually of one kidney, and hence not fatal. So it tends to attack what they say is the right kidney. So it usually will get into one kidney. So if you find that you've got like problems with one kidney and you've got any type of growth or mass in the kidney, it may be this worm. Okay? And it says in 2019, they listed a total of 37 known human cases in 10 countries, with the highest number in China, right? So I've found that people who've come to me with kidney cancer actually have that infection. And we'll give them the olive leaf extract and also other antiparasitics to kill nematodes. And the problem has been solved. Okay? I'm just letting you all know, like if you have pets, you know, if you have pets and you live around like farm animals and all this, you almost certainly have some type of parasitic infection, more times than not a nematode infection. Okay? So you've got to do parasitic cleanses quite frequently. Just like, you know, if you're coming from the Caribbean or the South, you come from Africa, grandma will give you a washout. And these washouts will usually be to clear worms from your body. We stop doing it when we're adults. Okay, so this is what I found with kidney tumors, kidney cancer, kidney cysts, kidney whatever. The first step should be to do a anti-parasitic cleanse to see if the shrinkage has happened. Okay. And Brother Anthony, we got you back on stage.
All right. Yeah, good stuff. You getting into what I wanted to know. How do you rid this stuff, man? This parasite. But I think you got into it. Go ahead.
Yes, and so it says very clearly it's a nematode infection. And I told you the nematode infection is the same infection that Dr. Alan McDonald has found in his multiple sclerosis patients.
Right.
So therefore, if you're taking hydroxychloroquine won't address this type of infection.
Oh.
Because hydroxychloroquine deals with protozoa,
right,
which is a different family of parasites than nematodes. It just turns out that olive leaf extract kills both protozoa and nematodes just as well as hydroxychloroquine on the protozoa side, and ivermectin and fenbendazole on the nematode side. That's why the olive leaf extract is so effective. Okay? So that if you don't know what type of infection it is, you've got to just use the olive leaf extract and it'll cover most of your bases, right?
Right.
But if you know it's a nematode, you want to throw olive leaf extract, and if it's spread, you want to throw olive leaf extract, you want to throw ivermectin, you want to throw fenbendazole at it. All three. You want to just throw it all at it, throw the kitchen sink at it, okay? But there, a lot of people don't know about this particular kidney worm. It literally will attack usually one kidney, and it'll stay there, and it'll lay eggs in that kidney, and sometimes those eggs are mistaken as tumors or cysts.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know, okay? All right. So back to the kidney disease, and this will also affect your kidney performance.
Right.
So, but what I'm saying to you all is that 9 times out of 10 is the high blood pressure medication, which I've shown over and over again. And
Right.
so, fortunately, we're able to control high blood pressure very well with olive leaf extract. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little bit of a video testimonial in our high blood pressure reversal section. So, what I'm telling you all that the key to reversing kidney failure is to get off of high blood pressure pharmaceuticals in a safe way using olive leaf extract, magnesium, or moringa lantro. And once that is achieved, you'll see that your kidneys will come back when you're able to discontinue the pharmaceuticals that are actually causing the problems to your kidneys in the first place. Okay?
Hey, Brother Heru, before you add that video, some of these white coats want to remove your kidney. Talk about that.
Yeah, I would say try to do the herbal results method first before you do any of these surgeries. It'll save you a lot of trouble, it'll save you a lot of money, save you a lot of pain. So if we can resurrect your kidneys without you having them removed, why wouldn't you do that?
Right. That's
And I'm
right.
just saying, give us 30 days. That's all I'm saying. If it doesn't work, go ahead and do what they're saying. But if what we're doing, if what we're saying works within 30 days, we've saved you a lifetime of headache, heartache, and attacking your bank account.
Right. All right.
Okay.
Proceed. Yes, sir.
So why don't we go with this one? This is one that a lot of people tend to like. Is Paula Goddard. She had hypertensive crisis, and olive leaf extract lowered her numbers within a few hours. So just showing you how effective it is, even in a hypertensive crisis. So we'll just play this by Paula. Sometimes Paula tunes in. Big up, Paula.
Big up, Paula.
All right.
All right.
So I'm going to make it a little fast.
All right. You listen to WSYPLP 95.1. Brother Heru Afari Atta, herbalresults.net. Take a minute to go to herbalresults.net and make a purchase to show your appreciation to what this brother's doing throughout our community. herbalresults.net. And by the way, folks, we will, if you're tuning in, you can get us on Facebook and YouTube right there with Brother Heru as well. And we'll rebroadcast this program 12 Central and 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you want to tune in a little bit later, you got some folks you want to tune in, just tell them that you can go to many places to catch the recording, all right?
All right, here we go. Can you hear this, Anthony?
All right, let's see what you got. Don't hear it yet.
You don't hear it?
No, not don't hear it at all.
Okay. I'm going to. Okay. Are you able to see it?
No, you still up. We're still up.
Okay. Hold on. There
All
we
right,
are.
coming on. There we are. Yeah, we got it. We got the
Okay.
testimonial page,
Mm-hmm.
and we got
And-
Sister Paula, full
Okay.
of life.
Let's start it.
All right.
Without further ado, let's just get into the story, y'all. So, young lady, can you introduce yourself? Can you tell people your name, your age, and your
Can
profession?
you see it and hear it?
Hello, my name is
Yeah,
Paula
yeah, we see
Goddard.
it here.
Hello, everyone. And for all you single men out there, I'm almost 5'2". I like long walks on the beach and candlelit dinners. Had to
Oh.
throw it out there.
Talk, keep talking, talk. Talk.
And as you see, I have a good sense of humor, and I'm a good conversationalist, and I can cook. A girl can cook.
Okay.
So, but I think I speak for the people who, because a lot of times when you hear testimonials, it's people that have bags of pharmaceuticals, they have bags of drugs, and they have all these. I think I was in the category of those people like, oh no, hypertension, high blood pressure. Oh no, not me, not the kid.
Mhm.
You know, and I believe there are others out there like that who just feel like, oh, that's never going to bother me. I eat healthy relatively. I have fall off the wagon and I jump back on the wagon. But things start to really hit you. And hypertension is no joke. So for me, it got to the point where I was seeing blood pressure readings in the 190s. Can we say stroke, everybody? Stroke level hypertension. And one of the things that, I'm working on is inflammation. It's just amazing how inflammatory the foods are that we eat. In addition to, I just feel like, yes, we know the SAD diet, standard American diet exists, but stress is killing us. This American lifestyle is really killing people. And I, as Brother Haru stated, I have a science background. I did an internship at NIH. So many moons ago, I was very young. And
Wait, what NIH is, with those who don't know the acronyms?
Oh, National Institutes of Health. And so one of my jobs as an intern was to go to their library and find peer-reviewed literature for the scientist. So I've known how to do this for a very long time. So Haru, that's why I truly appreciate when you tell people, get out these smartphones, get out these wonderful gadgets we have of technology, because I'm old school. I was looking it up old school. And I love that you have people, you say, this is not Haru speaking. This is peer-reviewed literature, meaning these are academicians, these are scientists, these are clinical studies. And may I just add that I am a person who has given her body over to science many times,
Okay.
made a lot of good money,
Okay.
thousands of dollars.
Okay.
And so
feel free to expound on that if you want.
and the money's good, checks are good. And I've done overnight stays, I've done week-long stays
As
and
part
things
of
like
clinical trials?
clinical trials. I've done just walk-ins where you bring, I don't know if how graphic I should get, but you bring all kinds of samples.
Mm-hmm.
You bring stool samples, urine samples, the saliva, all kinds of things, and the money is good. But let me also say this, a lot of these trials are done for people who are in desperate need of money, a lot of communities of color, because that's where a lot of these institutions are. They've taken over a lot of neighborhoods, especially neighborhoods that were predominantly Black. And so a lot of the people coming into these trials, they think, really desperately need the money. And then they feed you good, but bad good, like spare ribs and all kinds of stuff that's really bad for you after they take these experimental drugs and put in your body for everything from different flu vaccines to, let me see some of the other ones I was trying to think. I can't remember it sounds like it's shingles, but it's not. I can't remember. But dingy. I think dingy fever and different things like that. But I'm wary of a lot of those clinical trials and a lot of the data on that. I don't think they're long enough, many of them, to be quite honest with you. I think they should be longer. But again, I have given my body over to science. So when I read these clinical trials, I'm like, oh yes, I've done them. So I can speak to it from varying perspectives. So I do appreciate that you have people do the research themselves, show them how to do the research. And the information is now at our fingertips. So I just wanted to salute you on your methodology of teaching. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. And it's important because I think anyone who is interested in healing people, you see the difference between someone who's interested in healing and someone who's interested in making money is that a drug dealer always wants you as their customer, right? I'd rather have you as my friend, right? I don't need you to be my customer for the rest of your life. I'd rather show you how to heal yourself, and then we can talk about other things in life, right?
Yes.
So it's important to me that people don't just rely on me and what I say, and that's why, you said it very correctly when I talk about health and cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes. I don't give my opinion. I just quote from the studies, and the studies are very revelatory as to the natural things that you can take without getting the side effects from these pharmaceuticals. And you know all about the pharmaceutical companies, the design of trials, how they can design a trial to make it say what they want it to say so they can sell their patented drugs and all of that. And so, we know about it, and those who know. But, people would be surprised and shocked the studies that have been done on natural plants in all types of diseases and how it applies to diseases. And, it's actually what they say is conventional medicine is not conventional at all. Conventional medicine is really herbal medicine. The reason is because, as Paula would know, as someone with a science background, most of these pharmaceutical medicines are just corollaries of plant molecules. The problem is the plant molecules cannot be patented because Mother Nature already made it. So they have to twist it around, turn it around, add a molecule here or there, add an atom string here or there, a compound string here or there, and now you have a different compound, and voila, it can be patented. Problem is when you start manipulating nature like that, our organic body doesn't recognize it and recognizes it as an invader, and then the organic body starts to malfunction, which the medical community refers to as side effects, right? So let's get to your story of hypertension.
And if I may say, as a software trainer, I was a long-time software trainer, I'd like people to think of it in the fact that you might have a document in a particular, unless it's open share, in Microsoft Word, but you're trying to open it up in another software. That software application does not recognize your document and will not open it. The programming is not there. And that's how our bodies react to these unnatural things. And before I get back to me, if you don't mind me just saying really quick, I want people to make the correlation. I want people to understand that these pharmaceutical companies come into natural areas, mostly of, indigenous people, and they destroy those areas. They cut down the pineapple trees, say like Dole in Puerto Rico. I was in a church with a man who was from the area where Dole came in, and he said, those trees kept us protected from the hurricanes. And so they go through these places and they destroy nature and indigenous communities to grab these natural substances to put in their pharmaceuticals. That's all I want to say about that. That I think it is important for people to make the connections and understand how this machine works, if you will. All right, so back to me. So all of a sudden I have all these high, well, I guess it starts out with you having a headache and you don't understand why.
When was
and
this
I know,
around? 2020 what? 2000 what?
I want to say around, I think 2018.
Okay.
I think around 2018, 2019. I look at my paperwork, but no earlier than then do I recall. And I knew it wasn't a migraine headache because I know the difference. Women, we know a menstrual headache. There's, you know the different types, you know your body. Mm-hmm. And it's just, why am I waking up in the morning and why am I feeling like this? Well, go to the doctor and I have high blood pressure. I have hypertension. Mm. And of course, they want to put me on lisinopril.
Right.
And I tell the doctors, because I'm anti-pharmaceutical. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you about to go crazy and hurt some people, by all means, take some pharmaceuticals to regulate the chemicals in your brain for the good of all of society. Right. But I mean, other than that, I really caution people in using pharmaceuticals because they're masking. You're putting a Band-Aid. It's like putting a Band-Aid on something that needs surgery. It's like pay now or pay later. Right. Okay, I'm going to take this, and I've seen my levels drop to 111. I could read you off. Listen, I'm looking right here. What year this was? But I'm looking at different readings right here. I could tell you the lisinopril, I dropped to 111 over 52. I mean, I could give you those readings. You have to think about the long-term effects on the major organs of your body. So I tell these to, a doctor, and they say, okay, well, just try this for a little while, just try it. Mm-hmm. And I got off of it and I said to myself, I don't want to live like this, because I liken being on pharmaceuticals to being in prison, and they say, okay, you're in the hole. You're in the hole, and we'll let you out for 1 hour a day. You can go into the yard. You got 1 hour. You can play basketball. You get set to feel the sunlight on your skin, then back in your cell, back in the hole. That's what I like in pharmaceuticals too, because people don't see the immediate effects. Unless you have some really bad side effects instantly, I think people don't see the immediate effects of it. I want you to get off of it. Mm-hmm. So here I am.
Let me just stop you there.
Yes.
So what Paula's saying is very educational, and people need to take it very seriously, because lisinopril is the #1 hypertension drug prescribed to people. The problem is lisinopril is an ACE inhibitor. And if anyone goes to our website, herbalresults.net, you'll see, and I say our website because it belongs to all of us. What I did was that I put the studies on the website, so you can go to the science page and you will see a heading that says ACE inhibitors cause acute renal failure. This is a study by the American Heart Association. Maybe at some point, I can just show people the study, but in this interview, but what she's saying is absolutely right. What they've been clear about since 2001, that's when the study came out, is that ACE inhibitors, and ACE inhibitors are what they refer to as angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors. And they are used for primarily hypertension. They are also used for diabetes as well, sometimes. And these ACE inhibitors, you know them by their nomenclature. They end with pril at the end. It's the suffix. So captopril, lisinopril, all those, they'll end with pril or il at the end. That's how you can identify them. But the American Heart Association says that you can use these ACE inhibitors uneventfully for some time, and then suddenly you can wake up and have acute renal failure, which is basically your kidneys don't work anymore, and then you are, voila, on dialysis. So in Africa, we call that two trouble, one God. So what happened is that you have the first trouble of hypertension, and now you got the second trouble of kidney failure because of the fact that you were taking a drug that your doctor probably did not tell you about the side effects of it causing kidney failure. So we'll continue from there.
Yeah, I'm looking at, oh my goodness, I am looking at a message right now that I sent you on June 29th of this year. Yes, Thursday, June 29th of this year. I'm going to read this to you. Testimony, my blood pressure dropped 47 points. Wow. My blood pressure dropped 47 points from yesterday to today. Yesterday, 6/28/23 at 9:48 a.m., my BP reading was 204 over 108.
Wow. And that was from you taking the olive leaf extract?
Yes, and my next sentences say, I used 1 capful of your product in a few ounces of grape juice at approximately 8 p.m. today, 6/29/24. Okay, I used 1 capful of your product in a few ounces of grape juice approximately 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So that was on the that day, 28. Now it says today, June 6/29/24 at 7:40 a.m. My BP reading was 47 points lower.
Absolutely.
157 over 105.
Right.
And you responded, bless up, Paula. I'm sorry.
Show people the bottle that you took.
Oh, yes. So I'm not even taking the highest level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing super strength.
Right.
And, I when I first did it and I said, oh, this is bitter, Haru. This is bitter. You said, you have a lot of sugar in your body. And I had been going off on the sugar, like the chocolate tasting cakes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just been going off on
Right.
maybe a Patty LaBelle, sweet potato pies, and blackberry cobbler. Something I just been going off.
Right.
And so you said I have no sugar in my body. That's why I don't, it doesn't taste bitter to me. So I did notice that as it goes along. So sometimes I'll put in grape juice, but sometimes honestly, I'll put in capful and I'll just knock it back
Mm-hmm.
straight like that.
Your body's getting more accustomed to it. Your taste buds are getting more accustomed to it.
Yes. So I was going to talk about the 30-point drop.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm looking at this message.
Right.
I'm going to screenshot. I know you have it, but I'm going to screenshot it and send it to you. And you said, bless up, Paula. I will read the video, record your testimony, and then And so, of course, it's been forever. And now we're finally doing this.
Yes, absolutely.
So I want it to be perfect, and I want to get it right. And I want to. So, I want to speak to this, though. The day that we're talking about, because that we were going to talk about the 30-point drop, that is from March 11th, 2022. That's when I contacted you. I went from 153 over 110 to 183 over 98. Now, obviously, an improvement over 204 over 108.
Right.
Saying, but still high, 183.98. And the monitor that I was using talks.
Mm-hmm.
And it said hypertensive crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Hypertensive crisis. That was about 6 p.m. And I want to speak for a moment to Haru's level of compassion, because I was shocked that you made me a priority. And you said, I thought you were going to say, okay, just take the product and just, whatever. But you talked to me and you worked with me and you texted me and I had the product, and you wanted to find out what exactly was causing my hypertension. That's why we were doing that really an experiment. Mm-hmm. And you said, Paula, all I want you to do is just take a segment of an orange or a tangerine. And I always have fruit because, especially blueberries, because blueberries pull down the headache and they lower my blood pressure basically immediately, fresh blueberries. So anyway, So I just took a segment and I took this, and it was a while before I got back to you. So remember, it was 183 over 98,
Right.
but then it dropped down that evening to 153 over 76.
Right.
30 points with this. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to say to you is it works.
Right. And that was within like how many hours? It was a few hours.
It was about 3. Let's see. It was about 3. And that's probably because that's just when I got back to you.
Yeah.
So at 6 p.m., it was 183 over 98. And then I took the segment and I took it. And that was, I have 9:53 p.m. So about 3 to almost 4 hours.
Mhm.
But I really don't know how quickly it may have worked in an hour. It may have
Right.
been,
Right.
but it was just by the time I got back to you.
Yeah.
And this was, there were probably a few times where perhaps I should have gone to the emergency room or urgent care, and I did not. There were times I felt a little tingling in my arm. My arm would feel heavy sometimes. And I was like, oh no, not the kid. Here's the mentality, not the kid, not the kid. Oh, I'm not, that kind of thing. But hypertension is nothing to play with. It is a killer. Is it still considered the number one killer? If there was a
Heart
phrase
disease.
that
Heart disease
heart
is
disease
the
is
number
number
one, and
one killer.
hypertension is part of heart
Part
disease.
of. So I'm just really I'm floored right now looking at this old message 204 to 108,
Yeah.
and then the next day 157 over 105.
Yeah.
It works.
That bottom number is what's really important. The bottom number in the whole high blood pressure thing, that bottom number is the number that dictates whether you have a stroke or not. So if that number is like way above 100, 110, that type of thing, you're looking for a stroke. So the fact that we were able to get it down to 70 within a few hours is very important, because what people got to know is I think I was just hanging out, I was probably eating some mango, listening to some reggae music, and I get a text from Paula. She says, basically, Heru, I'm in a hypertensive crisis. I said, what do you mean you're in a hypertensive crisis? She said, and I could hear her voice because we've spoken on the phone. She's saying, that's what the blood pressure machine is telling me. And I'm saying, damn, the blood pressure machine read your blood pressure instead of even giving you numbers. It's just telling you hypertensive crisis, and then it's giving you the numbers. Basically, it's like saying emergency, right? It's like it's talking to you, right?
Mayday, Will Robinson,
yeah,
Mayday.
Yeah, Mayday. So when I saw that, I dropped everything and I said, no, we're going to have to deal with this right away. And the thing is that I'm familiar with dealing with this because other people have told me this story before. So your question to me was, do I need to go to the hospital right away? And my answer was, well, if you go to the hospital, for emergency care, they're pretty good, but I don't want them to keep you there. And then they start forcing other drugs on you, and then you create other problems. You end up getting some type of acute renal failure or what have you. And so to me, the first mode of defense is let's try the olive leaf. And it's exactly what worked for you. And I remember getting your text, and I could feel the energy of your text, like, it worked, I'm relieved. I can live now. I could feel that. And I was so happy. I was so happy to see that, and so I was like, we got to capture this testimonial, because literally, I think if it was someone different, you'd have gone to the hospital, but because you have a science background, you actually want to scientifically see, is this thing gonna bring my blood pressure down within the next couple of hours? Because if not, I'm going to the hospital. I can hear that in your voice. You're like, if this thing don't work, I'm going to the hospital. I don't want to go to the hospital, but I will go to the hospital because these numbers are crazy.
Right.
And I don't like the way my blood pressure machine's talking to me.
Right. I've taught kids, I've been a science teacher, and listen, I'm talking to them about the scientific process. And this is really what you have to do. Use the scientific method.
Yeah.
And I did that's interesting that you said that. That sounds like me. I said, wait a minute now. There are some experiments we can do here. There are some routes we can take other than straight to the hospital.
Right. Exactly. Once you're in their hands, you're in their hands. And one thing I will say is that, they are good for emergency medicine. They'll stabilize you. When it comes to long-term chronic illnesses, I don't think that that's the right place to be, because they don't even have a dietary aspect into their interventions, right? And essentially what you were suffering from is just classic metabolic disease. And it's not like a disease like it's infectious or it's anything to be like, oh, I got a disease. No, I'd say about 75 to 80% of people in America have metabolic disease. The metabolic disease is a disease that is an umbrella term that encompasses heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. And basically what was going on with you and what may be going on with you is simple, and it's actually very reversible. So it's not just the olive leaf that you would take, but it's also dietary interventions. Essentially, you're insulin resistant. Now, insulin resistance is not just, reserved for people who are diabetic. What's happening is that you got too much glucose in your blood, and the glucose in your blood that shows up periodically, almost every day, from what you like to eat, that pound cake, the donuts, that apple pie, the white rice, the white flour, all of those things become sugars into the body. What happens is that triggers insulin. The problem is that when insulin is triggered, your body goes into a state of inflammation. So your body goes into a state of inflammation, and the insulin's role is to deliver the glucose from the blood into the cell for energy. And so your body is always producing insulin without getting a break because of the foods that you're eating. And it's easily solved by doing intermittent fasting and also going on a ketogenic diet. I keep saying this for people with cancer. I keep saying it for people with diabetes. I keep saying it with people with high blood pressure, because you have the same umbrella disease. It's a metabolic disease, and the inflammation is being fed by things that you eat every day. And if you can just go 12 hours without eating, what happens is your body turns over from burning sugar for a source of energy to burning ketones, which is healthy fats for a source of energy. And what you will find is if you start doing fasting, so some people do what you call 16-8 fasting, 16 hours of the day, no eating, 8 hours, that's their window to eat. It's basically time window eating. So you're eating during those times. Some people do 18-6. So that means that they will do 18 hours with no food, 6 hours with food. What happens in that case is if 12 hours is the cycle, they've gotten 6 hours of fat burning before they eat again. And what happens with those people is within 3 months, they start getting their body back to like they're like 25 years old again. So it's something that you can certainly institute, easy to do, because we eat too much in America. We eat too much and we eat too frequently, and we eat the wrong foods.
We don't give our digestive system a rest.
Yeah. So I can tell you, somebody like you, as they say in America, I know when you were 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, you used to kill them on the streets. You walk around, people,
brother, much older than that, honey.
No, I'm sure, like, no.
Walking down the street, brother, what you talking about?
Yeah, 19, 20, 21, by the time you hit high school, by the time you hit college, I can tell you were quite the looker. And what was happening, and what's happening is that if you start instituting this fasting, you're gonna get your 20-year-old body back. You can get your 24-year-old body back. It just reverses the aging process, because your body will no longer be in a state of inflammation. And what's going to happen is that we can come back. That's the beautiful thing is that we can come back and do something in 3 months and monitor your progress, because this will be a good science experiment. Because you started off the show hollering at the brothers, say, hey, I'm single, da 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 da. Wait till they see you in 3 months.
Shazam, kabam.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? And it's like you still got a great smile, you still got your energy, you still, you know what I'm saying? You still got it going on. You said, Haru, before we go on this interview, I need to get my hair done. And I said, okay. And look at it, she got her hair did. You know what I'm saying? So the bottom line is that we can get our youth back by doing this. Every 3 months, I do a 4-day water fast. Not because I'm sick, it's because I understand the benefits of fasting and I understand the benefits of ketosis. That's why people look at me, when I came on, this is the first time we've seen each other physically. So I came on, you're like, he looks young, right? For my age, right? And if I get rid of my gray hair, I look like I could pass for 26, 27.
Totally.
And the reason is because I implement everything that I talk about. Once I find out something, I start to do experiments just like you. And then I start to see the results. So all that was going on with you was a metabolic disorder, but the problem is that these doctors are not trained to tell you this. They're not trained to tell you there needs to be dietary interventions for you stop eating so much carbohydrates, so much sugar. You just cut that out. Your body starts coming back to itself. And I'm guilty of it myself, eating too many carbohydrates. When I found out the power of fasting and the power of intermittent fasting, which is just a daily routine of having a window of eating. Some people do 1 meal a day. I do 1 meal a day. So they might have a 1 hour window to eat. And then there's 23 hours fasting. And that's how some people operate. Well, I do it. And all of a sudden now I start seeing my 6-pack coming back.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
I remember I did a raw fast once for 30 days. And I went to Trader Joe's, and that's when I started eating their raw mix. Mm-hmm. And I said, and then when it was over, I said, well, let me go and try the other one. And I started getting headaches, I guess because of the sulfur or something in the regular one, but the raw was fantastic. And I remember when I went raw, and of course, I'm a person, I'll read. I read different, like the former supermodel, Carol All, she has a good book about it. And I would just read these different raw food diet books. My cheeks sunk in like a supermodel. Mm-hmm. And it is true, like the eating a lot of the cooked foods, it does make you puffy.
Inflammation.
Yes.
Inflammation, it's all inflammation. So imagine if that's happening here, what's going on with your blood vessels? What's going on with your pancreas? What's going on with your liver? What's going on with your internal organs? And as I always say, if sugar is the biggest culprit of inflammation. And in America, they have a saying that says that sometimes the answers that you're looking for are right under your nose. You've heard that saying, right?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Literally, right, what's under your nose is your mouth. And guess what? Your mouth has your teeth. And if sugar can burn a hole into your teeth, which is what they call cavities, and your teeth is the hardest part of your body along with your bones, imagine what sugar is doing to your soft internal organs.
Yes.
So any doctor who's dealing with any of these top illnesses, which is hypertension, heart disease, chronic, congestive heart failure, these are all inflammatory metabolic based disease. And anytime you hear the word metabolic, it just means food. It means what you're eating. Diabetes is a metabolic disease. Cancer is a metabolic disease based on inflammatory response to what I call intracellular parasites. So what we're going to do with Paula, and this is very interesting, Paula, and I'm announcing this, and you might be interested in this. I think you actually be a great person to be part of this group because of just how lively you are, and I think a lot of people would take to you. I was asked today to do a 6 a.m. call, and we ended up being on for 5 hours. And there's about 100-something people on this call. It's a group that meets every Friday morning, I believe, and they invited me to come on to talk about my book on reversing cancer. That's available on the website for people to download. It's successfully eradicating cancer using an intracellular parasite theory. And I went on and I stayed on with them for 5 hours. And what came out of the meeting is they want me to put together a community, a virtual community that is a health accountability community, where all of us, everyone who has any health issue can come on, and I'll make myself available. Of course, there'll be like a monthly fee, but it'll be cheaper than, a night out, somewhere at a restaurant, right?
Sure.
What I'm going to do is that we're going to have hundreds of people on in this community, and everyone is going to be accountable to each other. The dietary practices, taking their herbs, and then I'm going to go over once or twice a week. People have access to me, ask me whatever they want to ask me. And we're going to go over different lectures in health, going over the studies, going over videos, going whatever. 1 week we might cover diabetes, and I can introduce people to the leading lecturers, the leading thought leaders in diabetes who are going to give you something different than the mainstream doctors. And these are people who are getting results because I have a saying that says expertise.
We're gonna stop there. You can do your due diligence and go on the website and get more information and watch more of the testimonial. There's so many on the website that you all can access, and you can do it at your own time. But I wanted to give you all the evidence of the olive leaf extract reversing high blood pressure, actually quite quickly within a few hours. Now that you all know that the olive leaf extract works in reversing high blood pressure, all you have to do is just take it frequently, do the dietary recommendations, get off of your pharmaceutical medications that are lowering your blood pressure but ruining your kidneys. And now you have a replacement for that medication in the form of the olive leaf extract. In some cases, people will also need the magnesium, which needs to be coupled with the vitamin D. So you're going to take that as well. And then in other cases, some people need to add the Moringa Lantro product. Okay. And that's all on our website, theherbalresults.net. And I'll just share what you may need and give it about 30 days. And you can go, once your blood pressure is good without the medication and you're taking the Herbal Results product, 30 days, 40 days, go get another kidney test. Usually it's your blood creatinine levels or your filtration rate levels, and then see how you're doing. And I'd say about in 80% of the cases, we're getting reversals. Okay. So these are the products that you'll need. Let me just show you what you need for high blood pressure. In Paula's case, all she used was the olive leaf extract. In a lot of cases, that's all you would need. In some other cases, so this is the olive leaf extract. I'd say that if your blood pressure is really, really high, you get the maximum. Really high, I would say, is anything over, I'd say 180 over 100. And then anything below that, you could usually take the super strength product, okay? And then in some cases, you would need the vegan vitamin D3 plus K2 and the magnesium. Those are complementary products that you would take together because a lot of people who have high blood pressure are just simply magnesium deficient. And so this solves a magnesium deficiency. And then there are small cases where some people don't react to the olive leaf extract or the magnesium in terms of lowering their blood pressure, and the Moringa Lantro works for them. So this is just something that you would mix. It's powdered cilantro and moringa. They work very well together. And you mix it with unsweetened coconut milk. So, and you heat it up and drink it as a tea. And we've seen dramatic drops in blood pressure that way. So again, I would say that in almost all cases, you could just get the olive leaf extract, the vitamin D3, and the magnesium for most of these illnesses. Those are like the 3 products that you definitely could use for all types of illnesses. It covers a lot of bases. But if you're finding that your blood pressure is not going down, just add the moringa cilantro to it. And then you're able to get off of this. Once your blood pressure, I'd say, is below anything below 160 over 90, particularly if you're over 40 years old, that's the blood pressure we can work with. What has happened over the years is that 150, 160 over 90 used to be the normal blood pressure 30 years ago. But about every 5, 6, 7 years, they lower the numbers so that more people qualify as having high blood pressure and then are prescribed blood pressure medication. So the number now they're saying is like 120 over 70, which is really crazy. But what they're doing is they're getting more people on blood pressure medication with that number, because you go to your doctor and it's 128 over 75. They say, hey, according to this standard, you have high blood pressure. Let's put you on meds. And then 20 years later, 10 years later, you've got kidney failure. You see how that goes? And there really should be age-adjusted blood pressure as well, where your blood pressure should be higher the older that you get. And you can Google that, just put in age-adjusted blood pressure. And the way they used to do it was they would take the number 100 for the top number, and they would take your age. So they would say 100 plus your age should be your top number. Anything above that is considered high blood pressure. So literally, if you are 60 years old, 160 should be, the highest number that you have. But a lot of people are under the impression that it needs to be 120 over like 70 when you're 80 years old, and that's just not the case. And they're trying to retrain doctors on that to have age-adjusted blood pressure, so you don't just put people on blood pressure medication wantonly. And then what happens is they end up with all of these side effects, from erectile dysfunction to kidney failure to memory issues and so forth and so on. We've gone through it. Someone says, can I tell the eczema protocol? Yeah, so the eczema protocol is you're going to stay away from sugar. You're going to stay away from refined carbohydrates. You can take the olive leaf extract. If you want, you can take the vitamin D and also the magnesium. But we've had reversals just with the olive leaf extract. All right, Twyla? Just take the olive leaf extract, stay away from sugar and refined carbohydrates if you've got eczema, okay? All right, so this is what we're doing for kidney failure, y'all. Try it for 30 days. Just try it for 30 days. The olive leaf extract, magnesium, and the vitamin D3 plus K2. Stay away from refined carbohydrates, stay away from sugar, so we can get your blood pressure right. And then you can get off of these medications that are killing your kidneys. I mean, I've gone over them week after week, the side effects. And by now, people tuning in, you should know how to check the side effects of your medication. You go to drugs.com, put in the name of your medication, and put in side effects after that, and then you'll see common, severe, long-term. You click that, and you look down the list, and you'll start seeing the different, particularly if you see for healthcare professionals close to the bottom, you go to the different body parts because it gives you the different organs. You'll see renal. It'll tell you. It'll say, increase creatinine levels, which is showing that your kidneys aren't working. Or it'll tell you literally kidney failure, kidney, injury, all of that. It'll tell you that. And it'll say up to 10% of the people. You'll see that with losartan. You'll see it with lisinopril. You see it with olmesartan. You see it with different statin drugs for cholesterol lowering. We've covered all of that. So I'm not going to just repeat everything every single week. You can, go back to the archives on my Facebook page, and we'll be keeping a bigger archives as well of all these shows and labeling them. And I'll probably have them somewhere on my website that anyone can access on herbalresults.net. So yeah, that's how we deal with high blood pressure reversal. We've shown you, and there are many different testimonials on our website, herbalresults.net, besides Paula. Twyla saying, can a 5-year-old take olive leaf? Yes. you just give them half a teaspoon, okay? Usually you can give them the super strength, but if they're really, you can give them the maximum strength, but you can give them half a teaspoon, all right? Or even you start with a quarter of a teaspoon, and then you can, don't give them more than half a teaspoon. All right. So that's it, y'all. On Wednesday, we'll be tuned in with wealth results. Hopefully this was helpful for y'all in terms of showing you that you can defeat high blood pressure through natural methods. You can defeat kidney failure through natural methods. And the key is that a lot of people who can't urinate because their kidneys are gone. When you start urinating, that's when your kidneys are coming back, and you know that. So you can also confirm that with a test of your filtration rate or your creatinine levels. Within 30, 45 days after doing our protocol, just go get another test, and you'll see the look on your doctor's face of being completely surprised that they were taught that this cannot be reversed, but we prove over and over again that it can be. All right. So thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you all on Wednesday when we deal with wealth results. We'll go over these stocks, go over some of these stock options. We'll go over the African stocks we're in and see how everything's doing in terms of our investments. So thank you for tuning in. And anybody who needs any of our products or anything, go to herbalresults.net. And if you need to contact me, go to info@herbalresults.net and send an email. Y'all have a beautiful day and a beautiful week. See y'all on Wednesday. Peace.